Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back to Allotment of the Dead. So we're getting into the start of October. So that period of time when everything seems to start going downhill, everything starts dying on you, and the frosts are starting to come in. We've had a couple of days where we've had a couple of kind of 1 degree centigrade kind of days, and unfortunately, a lot of the plants haven't liked it. So I've managed to lose, unfortunately, quite a few of those plants that in effect needed a little bit more heat, things like the melons. But let's show you what's going on now, and you'll see kind of what I need to do to get ready for the new season, and also to hopefully plant some stuff over that winter period, because it is a lean period for a lot of people. A lot of people at this stage in the season will go, okay, enough's enough. It's time to kind of just put everything to bed. I'm going to try and keep some things going. Thing with polytunnels, it's a really, really good opportunity to actually still plant some stuff over that winter period and get things like kale and some of your other brassicas and things going. I've got a lot of varieties of kale ready to go in the ground in the polytunnels. I'm expecting the chilies to potentially, hopefully, survive till about the first week in November. So we'll see how that goes. But let's show you kind of what's going on now. Switch you around. Okay, and as I said before, I have done absolutely nothing at all with the grapes. I'm kind of flogging a dead horse, really. I really probably either need to make my mind up. Do I do something with them, or do I just get rid of them? I'm going to get rid of them. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to replace them with some really decent blackberries from the other end of the plot. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I said I was going to do at the start of the season. I'm going to do it. Almost definitely I'm going to do that, yeah. They've got a second flush of the buddleia here, and crazily enough, one of them's managed to self-seed in with my lilies there. I'm not sure at this point whether to save that plant, because it is only seemingly one stem and one flower on the end of it, or whether to just let it go and kind of dig it out. I'm going to top dress the lilies, so hopefully for next season they'll all be ready to go. So these are my two lily buckets. As you can see, I've cut them down. I'm going to top dress this with a bit more soil to again give them a chance to overwinter nicely. And again here we've got this self-seeded foxglove. They always seem to do well when they self-seed. But yeah, we've got a couple there in with my I always forget the name of this. It's I'm going to have to put it on the screen. I can't remember. It's terrible. And the Wigelia again is growing well this year, but again it's just starting to die off now. We've got to that stage where everything starts to die off a bit. Right, I really need to plant that dahlia, but again it's given us some nice flowers, and this one here, which I have managed to plant, is still going great guns with some absolutely gorgeous blooms on it still. Absolutely fantastic. The seeds of death there, the castor bean plant is doing okay. So yeah, kind of what we expect this time of year. Have a glance through into the brassica cage, which this year has been absolutely decimated. I pretty much turned this into a butterfly farm. I've still got plenty of kale growing, kind of dotted around. The shoe fly made absolutely no difference. But I've got some Cavolo Nero I can harvest. There's some red Russian, and there is some curly kale here. And over the far end, we've also got some larger kind of walking stick kale. We can harvest that as well. Right, let's have a look inside the aubergine house, which I will rename for next year. I'm not going to basically grow much in the way of aubergines in here next year. So all the aubergines have come out. I've probably got about 3 off all of the things I planted this year. It was a really rubbish year for aubergines. So next year I'm going to try just one variety called Aswad, and see if I can get a really nice big, massive aubergine, just like as big as I can get it. So, like I've said, over winter, there's lots of other things that can go in the ground. So we've got some beetroot and some chard in there. I only planted it a couple of days ago. Hopefully it will revive itself. But again, that cold weather has been a bit kind of damped down on things. And some more spring onions there. So yeah, hopefully they'll do okay. The melons that were in here, one of them has come out already. I'm going to basically take everything out of this and then refresh that for next year. See what I can do with it. The wasabi is probably about 3 times as big as when I put it in, so it's doing okay. I haven't actually tasted this yet, so maybe I will take some young leaves from it and we'll give that a taste. I'm not going to dig the root out. I'm going to let it grow a bit bigger. I didn't see any wasabi at Malvern, unfortunately, to put another plant in, but as you can see with the moss, it's still getting plenty of water here, so I think I've probably still got a bit of a leak in this cover here. The Chinese cabbage that I planted, it's looking okay. It's looking better than I thought it would be. Hopefully it will start hearting up in the middle soon. You can see there. So hopefully we should get some Chinese cabbage this year, which should be nice. The Brad's Atomic grape, there is plenty of fruit on this, and some of them are looking all right. I'm a little bit worried that we've potentially got some blight coming in now. So I think we're at the end of the season for these. So I think I'll be clearing this probably this weekend, and then we can hopefully, I mean, there should be some nice fruit we can still take from this. Whether or not they'll be ripe, I'm not sure. They ripen to kind of a nice orangey mixed kind of colour. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be plenty in there. I think it looked like I've got a cucumber that I missed. It's supposed to be a gherkin, but I think it's a bit bigger than a gherkin, that. And the melon that was growing here didn't really set any fruit. So again, I think I'll be removing that this weekend. It'll just give me plenty of space here in this corner. I can actually put some kale in or something like that. I've got plenty of kale to actually go in the ground, plenty of things like Cavolo Nero. So yeah, we'll see if we can get that in the ground over the winter period. The wormwood is absolutely fantastic plant that's for things like absinthe. It reminds me of chilies. Every time I smell it, it just gives me that kind of hint of, you know, it's almost like a Caribbean kind of really hot chili. But maybe I'm just been spoiled by chilies. I'm not sure. Let's have a look, see if that's one of the riper ones. There we go. That's getting on for ripe in terms of, yeah, it's got a little bit of firmness to it, but I think that one's ripe. So again, we can harvest some of those. Right, let's go back out. Okay, the Rose of Peru or shoe fly is still giving flowers, and you can see this is how you can tell it's a Solanum species. It's got these absolutely wonderful looking seed pods which look just like the tomatillos. So we'll harvest some of these for the seed for next year. I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to grow next year. I mean, it's almost worth growing for the seed pods themselves, and these little blue flowers have been gorgeous. So yeah, might be worth a go next year, but again, probably in a pot or two, just dotted around, and we'll see how it goes. Still got to do a bit of a tip run. Most allotments at this time of year will get to that stage. That's all of the sunchoke or Jerusalem artichokes I've removed from the poison garden. I'm going to try and dig out what I can of the Jerusalem artichokes and see if I can prevent it from growing too much next year, but I don't hold much hope. They say once you've planted Jerusalem artichokes, you've got them for life, and I think unfortunately that is the case. The Datura Brugmansia here, I think these are actually Brugmansia. Yeah, these are Ecuadorian pink, and I'm going to try and overwinter these, and they're looking like they've got plenty of growth on them, plenty of new growth on them as well. They were knocked a bit with the cold weather, but they got some really nice thick stems. So I'm going to try and get those put into one of the buildings here with some fleece on them and see if I can overwinter them, just so I can get a nice, really decent plants for next year. I'm a kind of a mixed results with overwintering, but we'll give it a go. Again, the bitter nightshade, these absolutely gorgeous berries. Just have to keep reminding myself not to eat them because these ones are poisonous. And what's left of the henbane has died back now. It's died back to a plant still, so again I'm going to see if I can overwinter this as well, and we'll see where we go from there. Getting lots of these little fellas at the moment. I don't know whether you can focus on that. Let's have a look. They just hang there and you end up walking through the cobwebs before you know it. They're everywhere. It's a typical Halloween fair. Okay, so the red buddleia, again, generally prune the buddleias in February time. Again, just taking off anything that's kind of crossing dead wood, that sort of thing. But we can wait for that to die back a little bit. Again, we'll do that in February. The radish I planted, I think they're doing okay. I might be able to harvest some of those. I'm not sure whether I've got any. Again, it's getting them to bulb up, and this time of year, it's not as the fantastic time of year for them. I've got some little cos lettuce there that the slugs haven't got yet. I think maybe they've missed them. And again, we've got some more over here as well in terms of the radishes. So again, we'll have a look at those at some point. The cotonista has got its berries. Again, really nice plant, these. Always grow well. And the euphorbia has now started to come back as well. I'm expecting, hopefully, the hellebores to start putting out some lovely little flowers as well. These kind of Christmas roses. Right. My henbane in here, again, not sure plant-wise we've got much going on. And the middle plant here, not sure how much longer this will last, but this is the hairy balls plant, which is probably getting on for about 4 foot now. So again, we've got some nice little balls growing there. I'm not sure how big they'll get. And I got some nice little flowers on the top. Nice little cute things. It's not something I've grown before, so I'm interested to see what this is going to finally look like. The seed pods for the datura are doing really, really well. I've collected a load of those already, ready for next season, just to break open and hopefully give us some seeds for next year. Definitely need to control where they land though, so that's the thing with them. The aconitum has been absolutely fantastic. So these were the late flowering purple varieties of the aconitum. Absolutely gorgeous these have been. Those intricate little flowers, amazing to see. And the bees are still going in and out of these. You can see these absolutely weird looking seed pods on the top as well. Absolutely fantastic. Right, so this was where I dug all of the artichokes out of. I'm not even going to attempt to harvest the artichokes until the aconitum has died down enough for me to cut those down, so I'm a little bit safer and then digging up the ground around the base of these. Again, I need to cut back some of the foxgloves and things that are here. My tomatoes this year have been absolutely awful. I've lost a lot of the RAF ones to blight. So you can see here on this particular plant, I'm not going to be touching anything else after this. So this is blight just kicking in here on the fruit. That brown kind of staining to the fruit. It's absolutely rubbish. And unfortunately, I've lost quite a few of these. So yeah, it's everywhere. You can see that brown staining. Absolutely horrible. So I've lost a lot of the fruit this year, unfortunately, to blight. Again, it's that wet weather and the weird kind of periods of warmth in the middle of it that has just unfortunately led blight to ravage everything tomato related. But there we go. We'll see how see if I can get actually any of these to actually harvest. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. The Akocha has finally got to the stage where it's giving plenty of fruit now. So these are the Akocha pods. Again, the other name for this is slipper gourd or kiwa. So again, these are really, really good. You can use them anywhere where you'd use a green pepper. Absolutely fantastic to eat. Always definitely worthwhile growing. Just for the talking point, it actually looks like marijuana growing. So every so often you get somebody coming along saying, "You grow marijuana?" You go, "Well, no, not supposedly at the moment." But there we go. And the sunflowers again, way past their best now, all starting to die back. But again, there's that little flourish of bright yellow there, kind of sitting out in amongst the gloom. So it's really, really nice. And the Narangilla didn't fruit this year. So again, I'm going to try and overwinter this absolutely lethal plant. And we'll see how that goes. That's one of the RAF tomatoes. I might be able to take that one home and eat that one. We'll see what it tastes like. It doesn't look particularly nice, but it's supposed to be really tasty. And the Sarcococca just starting to get what looks like little flower heads now. Absolutely gorgeous smell to this when it's in flower. It's a winter flowering evergreen plant with almost like a musky vanilla smell to it. So yeah, should be really nice. We'll go past the house. I've added another little fella here, Harry Potter style. Haven't seen anything flying in and out, but maybe it is. I don't know. I can't see anything kind of holed up in there, but maybe there are. Well, it's there for when the insects go into sleep, so we'll see how that goes. Right, we'll go round. So over here is my Christmas potatoes, doing really, really well. At least they are at the moment. I'm going to have to, like I say, move these just to make sure that they've got a fighting chance to survive. That frost potentially will nip the shoots, and potentially I might lose some. So I need to get those into one of the polytunnels, I think. We'll see how that goes. Right, let's show you into the new build. Okay, so there's a bit going on in here still. So I've got rid of some of the herbs and things. We've still got some winter savoury there, and the sorrel, and this absolutely gorgeous olive plant that still smells so olivey. And we've got this kind of aquatic thing. I can't remember what it was called now. Hence water spinach. So again, it's kind of is a bit spinach-like in its taste, but again, I don't think I'd probably grow that again. One of those things that you grow once and maybe change your mind. My mint garden has been absolutely decimated. Everything's died off, I think, now. I've cut everything back. So we'll leave that, see if everything comes back next year. It is supposed to come back, isn't it? You've got to be really kind of crazy to be able to kill mint. At least that's what they say. Okay, these are the tomatoes that I've managed to pick, and I think I'm not going to have any because it looks like they've all got blight, apart from, I think this is a Crimson Crush, which hasn't. So I'm going to have to separate the good ones from the bad ones. So Crimson Crush here, bit of a blemish in it, but otherwise okay. And then these black strawberry ones. Oh no, there's some blight there. Yeah, I think I'm not going to have much in the way of tomatoes this year, at least from the outside tomatoes. So these are all ones I took off the outside tomatoes. And they didn't look anything like this when I put them there about 2 days ago. I put them there in the hope that they would ripen up. And some of them have, and some of them have just developed more blight. So it looks like I'm going to have to get rid of probably all of them. So not a great year for tomatoes for me. Bit of a waste of time for me this year. Those at the top there are harvested. Again, some more pods of death. So those are the Datura thorn apples, the seed heads of the Datura plant. So we'll take some of those. I've got some of the pods that I've taken off the sweet peas. So I've got to harvest the sweet peas as well for next year. And we've got, again, still got some chard and stuff I can put in different places. So, and the kale all ready to go in. Again, it's getting quite big, so I want to try and get this in the ground. I've got some red cabbage and some Di Verona cabbage here, which are kind of more like a Savoy type. We'll try and get those in the ground as well in one of the polytunnels or in the new build. We'll see how we go. All right. So I've pulled out one of the lots of the runner beans, and the courgette plants have gone. Hello, how you doing? Still got some bean plants up, so these ones here still green. Just wanting them to dry up a little bit before I harvest them. And again, we've got some more over here, which be a mixture of Trail of Tears beans and cave beans over there, so we can harvest some of those. The runner beans here have gone to seed, so again, I've got plenty of beans for seed here now. Again, I can get rid of this weekend, and then I need to dig all this over. So I'm going to put my garlic in that I got at Malvern. I'm going to put it in the ground here, so hopefully that should be all right. Still getting some occasional sweet pea flowers. They keep trying. Plenty of the seed pods around as well, getting them nicely plump before you harvest them. Okay, I think I might have had the fox in here, but again, I've planted some more spring onions here. Hopefully they'll stand up a bit. I think they might have been jumped on a bit by the foxes, unfortunately. And some more chard on that side. Harvested the fennel. That's gone into the freezer. And this here is the garlic. So again, I haven't harvested any of these. They're looking like kind of spring onions at the moment, quite thin. Not sure how much bigger they get. Let me know if you've grown garlic before. Let me know, do they get much bigger than that? Do I harvest them now? But yeah, we'll see. Right, so this was my tomato bed. Again, I've decimated it completely, pulled out all of the plants potentially with blight, leaving just the ones there at the back. So that plant there is Cocktail Crush, which again is a blight resistant variety. Looking at the plants aren't great, but the actual fruit on them seem to be okay at the moment. The one in the center there is Burlesque, but blight has hit those. It is supposed to be a blight resistant variety, more like a beefsteak tomato, but again, not fantastic. And the ones on this side are the Crimson Crush. So these are the kind of the normal sized tomatoes. Again, the plants looking okay, and the actual fruit themselves at the moment, touch wood, are okay. I'm not sure they're going to ripen up now, so I might need to take them off as green tomatoes, but we'll see how that goes. My pumpkin patch has been a bit, again, decimated by that cold weather. Seems to have come in and not done them any favours, but I do have some pumpkins kicking around. That looks like a crown prince there, and we got a white boar, and there's another white boar at the top there. Let's have a look over here, and I've got a few of the little Uchikura ones growing, and there's some nice yellow variety there. Can't remember what that one is. Is it Victor? Might be Victor, although it's not looking gnarly enough to be Victor. Couple of banana squashes growing. Again, I don't think they're going to give us much now before the end of the season. The Cosmos has well and truly gone past its best. Again, we can get rid of that this year. Got a bit of a scallop squash there, so we can take that one shortly. The borage dying. We've got a couple of bottle gourd growing here. So far they're doing okay. I'm just going to leave them. There's a tromboncino there. Again, it's not doing fantastic. This year has been a bit of a mess really for me. Some things have been okay. The chilies have done really well for me this year. Maybe because I've concentrated on them probably above everything else. But yeah, it's been a bit of a weird year. Right, let's go into the pie tunnels and we'll leave it there. Right. So that's kind of what the polytunnel is looking like from the outside, and then we'll show you the other one. That looks like it's a bit more overgrown. There's a lot more maybe happening in that one. Let's start in this one then. So plenty of chilies kicking around still. Been an absolutely fantastic year for chilies this year for me. Massive variety of different ones, from like this Zabranche to kind of the lemon drop chilies that we've got here. Fantastic amounts of these. I'm going to again harvest some of these, but I'm going to put them in a bag for the to dry off for lemon drop chili powder. Got these tiny little miniature melons that seem to be dropping now, and I'm not sure this is going to survive. I think the plant's probably dead now. So I think I've got this is an aquatic plant, I think, growing in the hanging basket. It's I know I've got something similar growing at home in the pond. Not sure how it got into the hanging basket. Bit of a weird one. Takonotsumi. So again, these absolutely gorgeous little, almost cayenne type peppers. Got massive amounts of different ones in here. Got some nice Tobago seasoning peppers. So these are the ones that usually get bigger than this. Again, it's a bit of a stunted plant really. These are the ones you kind of use for your making your green seasoning for Caribbean cooking. Again, really quite nice. We've got Hallows Eve, which I think I saw some fruit on. Yeah, there we go. Kind of a weird looking. I don't know whether you can see that. Let's have a look. There we go. Weird looking thing. But yeah, most of my chilies have got fruit on at least this year. So Purple Death, got some growing in there. And these are the Purple Mamp, which has done absolutely fantastic this year with the two different phenotypes. So this is what it's supposed to look like. And this is the other variety that seems to have grown as Purple Mamp. We've got the Nortano, so this is the northern chili. Again, these absolutely gorgeous pods. I've got another plant in the polytunnel next door, which was from the Russian roulette chili seeds. So these were the freebies that were given us from Red Dragon Seeds. And this one here is the Ahi Confusion, because it looks a bit weird. And then we've got Ahi Fantasy, which is this one here. Lots of different weird and wonderful shapes and sizes. We've got plenty of the space chilies still growing. Plenty of the cayenne peppers in this corner still growing. And despite this plant potentially getting blight, I've got plenty of these peach sugar rush. Those people that like growing these little chupatinos or bequito peppers, these little nice little teardrop pointed peppers, again really, really nice. And then this one here is the purple variety of that. So yeah, we've got a good mix of different peppers in here. The oleander is doing absolutely fantastic still. That should have no problems overwintering because it's an evergreen, so hopefully that should be a really nice plant next year, and hopefully should get some flowers on it. The jicama is still growing. It's getting cold now though, so I'm not sure it will probably live much longer, and then we'll have to harvest whatever we've got. Now there's supposed to be about kind of turnip size kind of little root vegetables in there, but we'll see how that goes. They might be okay. We've got a little Thor's Thunderbolt there. Again, this plant has not done great. It's a bit stunted, but we've got something, so it's not too bad. The Criolla de Cucina, so these are some nice sweet peppers, and we've got some more of the Kobachi peppers here. So these are the ones you use for the pickled tertiu, kind of Turkish pickled chilies. Really quite nice. Right, we'll have a look in the other one. So this is the last bit. So the Tamarillo, it's looking as if the cold has got to it a bit. The leaves are looking a bit kind of forlorn and it's drooping a bit, but I think this plant's been drooping quite a bit right from the start. That smell is still there. It's supposed to be kind of peanut butterish, but other people have said diesel, but to me it's peanut butterish. Again, we're going to try and overwinter this plant. Planted a load of chard probably about 3 weeks ago. So this is chard and beetroot. Again, the first bit of space, this is where my cucumbers were. So I've pulled those out, and then we've planted a lot of the chard and the beetroot and things. We'll see what happens with those. Again, got quite a mix of different chilies and things here. So we've got the chocolate habaneros and the scorpion chilies there. And as we move along, we've got a lot of fruit growing here. So Big Sun, again, all these are habanero type chilies, all doing really well. So this is the skunk red. So we've got some ripe ones there. The plant at the back there, you can see the fruit. That is the red Savina. So that is the habanero that they were selling in Tesco's for quite a while, as a super hot chili. It's over 1 million, so it's definitely worth putting in your food. It's a lot better taste, I think, than the Scotch bonnet as well. So we'll see how that goes. This is the big yellow mama. So we've got a few of those on the plant, so that's really good. And the other mama plants here are just starting to put the fruit out now. Hopefully they should ripen. We'll see how that goes. Still got a few dragon's breath kicking around. There's more on the plant there. There we go. And still plenty of these sugar rush chilies. Okay, so this here is, oh, look at that one. So this is the Slimer. This is the green, what do they call it? The 7-pot Slimer. Fantastic colour to this. Amazing. So yeah, these are going to be really interesting to eat. It's almost mustardy. Right. And again, we've got a few of the Machu Picchu at the back there, and then this is Targamores, which again is a relatively almost cayenne type pepper, quite a tasty pepper. Have got some fruit on my hairy chili. So this is the pubescens variety, so called because it's hairy. Also called ricotta peppers. So the difference between these, the massive difference, is that the seeds for most chilies are white. With this particular plant, the seeds are all black. So yeah, bit of a weird and wonderful things. These will actually ripen to orange, I think. They've done really, really well. The most expensive chili in the world And this is the reason why, because they are tiny little chilies on this. Again, I'm going to try and overwinter this really expensive plant. It's expensive because it takes an absolute ton of these to actually get anything substantial. But the heat on these is amazing. I tried one in here and it was about 200,000 Scovilles, and it was like, what the, took me completely by surprise. Such a tiniest little chili can have so much heat. It's amazing. This is my Orion, so that absolutely gorgeous colours you get even this late in the season, they're starting to ripen up really, really well. And the heat wise off these, again, we're over 1 million. Put a couple of these into a Caribbean chicken curry, absolutely fantastic. And I left them whole in the hope that it was just going to give the flavour, but I think with the cooking process they managed to fracture, and the actual resulting heat of the chili of the curry was absolutely massive. So it took me again by a little bit by surprise. These are all the chilies that are potentially ones that I don't 100% know what they are. So these little kind of almost like little black olives and things. And again, this one here is a Nortano. So these kind of northern chilies. Again, really, really pretty. And then we'll leave with this particular plant here, which is the Puma. I think this one's Puma. Yep. So again, you kind of get a variegated chili that kind of got this almost orangey look to it in the end. Right. So a lot of stuff has kind of, as you expect for this time of year, started to die off, and you kind of expect it, unfortunately, this time of year. That being said, there is still a hell of a lot to harvest in this plot. You know, even kind of the brassicas and stuff like that are in there. Again, yeah, they haven't done great this year, but there is still plenty I can take. And again, everything in here in terms of flowers and that sort of thing have done absolutely fantastic. Hopefully, you know, bringing the pollinators in. I am going to try and seed save some of the chili seeds from these plants this year, because like I said, I think on one of my previous videos just a short time ago, the prices of seeds and things have gone up quite considerably. So especially for things that are a little bit more unusual, things that people don't normally buy a lot of. So I'll be saving quite a few of those. I might even send a few out as presents and things. We'll see how it goes. Right, I'll leave that there for today then. So just a tour around the start of October, really. It's the 7th today. So yeah, it's all going to be downhill from here on in, I think, at least for things like chilies and stuff like that. They're not going to last forever. I've just got to try where I can to try and overwinter as many as I can, really, the ones I want to kind of try and save for that next generation. So things like these Nortanos, which are absolutely fantastically large plants, they might be difficult to overwinter because of the size of them. I'm not going to be able to kind of, and I mean, the ideal thing would be to pot them up, put them in a pot, cut them back a bit, and then put some fleece around them, and then kind of keep your fingers crossed and hope for the best. But it is getting colder now. I think overnight here we've had 3.5 degrees, so yeah, it's been a bit cold. See, I've got nice little blue lights in here now. See, I always have lights in all of my buildings, and it's purely to bring things like the moths in. Does a really, really good job. And again, I've got these nice little shiny little, they call them sun catchers, but they seem to fluoresce. Really nice. Anyway, so that's the tour for today. So we'll see you on the next video. So all the best, guys. Take care. Bye bye.